So first of all, when you are coming into the beams, there are two types of beams. One is singly reinforced and other one is doubly reinforced. So what is the difference between singly reinforced and doubly reinforced? The first question. So then according to our syllabus, there are included singly reinforced as well as doubly reinforced. Okay, so first of all, what is singly reinforced beam? See, you can see here the 3D of the figure. Okay, I'll hatch this area. Okay, this is one is red hatched area. I'll hatch here. This is brown hatched area. Fine. So what is this section is called as? This red hatched area section is called as longitudinal section. Fine. This area is, we can call it as a cross section. Okay, be familiar with the sections. While designing the beam, I'll make use of the two names. One is one is longitudinal section and cross section. So I'm just showing you in the 3D diagram. Be familiar with what is the difference between the cross section and the longitudinal section. Fine. So then what is singly reinforced beam? Okay, I'll just rub these things. See here in the bottom you are seeing steels, right? Okay, so I'll just write a cross section, this cross section here. Okay, if we are providing the steel only in the bottom region, then it is called a singly reinforced section. Okay, if you are providing steel in the bottom region as well as in the top region, then it is called as doubly reinforced section. Okay, so in this 3D figure we can see the steel which is provided only in the bottom section, but at the top there is no steel. Okay, so this is called as singly reinforced beam. Okay, tension zone and compression zone, I'll explain further. See here again the same thing. This is longitudinal section, this is cross section. If I take a cross section over here, in this figure you are seeing at the bottom also steel and at the top also you are finding the steel, so it is called as doubly reinforced section. Okay, if the steel is provided only on the bottom, it is called as singly reinforced, and in this we can see at both the points, that is at the bottom as well as the top, the steel is being provided, that is called as doubly reinforced section. So in this figure it shows that how the steels are provided inside the beam. Okay, so one steel is running longitudinally and other one is in the transverse direction. This longitudinal steel which is running like this, okay, which is running like this, it is called as main bar. Okay, this is called as main bar. So the main bar resists the bending moment. Okay, what is the purpose of providing main bar? Main bar is provided to resist the bending moment. In some of the competitive examinations they may ask like this. So then what is the reasons for providing this steel? What is this steel called? It is called as transverse steel, and also it can also be called as stirrups. So what is the purpose of providing stirrups? Okay, stirrups is going to resist shear force. So I'll just take a simply supported beam like this. Okay, there are two supports and one load is acting over here. Okay, for this I need to draw shear force and bending moment. Shear force diagram, how it comes? It comes like this. This is called as shear force diagram. I think this you had learnt in strength of materials. The bending moment will come like this. At the ends bending moment will be 0 somehow. Okay, when a load is acting upon a beam, it is subjected to two kinds of forces. One is shear force and other one is it is subjected to bending. So the main bars which is provided here, it is provided to resist the bending moment. Then the transverse steel which is called as stirrups, which is provided to resist the shear force. Okay, and you can also look at the 3D diagram like how the steels have been fixed inside the beam. So you came to know what is longitudinal section, what is transverse sections, like how will be the schematic representation and the bars which is tied inside the beams. Again, this is a very important concept here. What you can see here is beam. I'll just write it here. Okay, and these two are supports. Okay, it is supported like this. The beam is supported like this, and one load is acting. They are acting on load which is here, which is, and just take it as P. When you are acting a load, what happens? The beam bends like this, right? You can imagine. That means, okay, I'll just write here, the beam bends like this. Okay, the straight beam is going to bend in this direction. When the beam bends, you can see here the topmost part undergoes compression and the bottommost part undergoes tension. Okay, so if I take a cross section of a beam like this, okay, if I divide it, the bottommost part is called as tension zone and the topmost part is called as compression zone. So I'd like to tell you one more concept. While constructing a beam, we are making use of two materials. One is steel and other one is concrete, right? Okay, you know steel is strong in tension, weak in compression. But what about concrete? Concrete is strong in compression and weak in tension. You can link this concept here. Since at the bottommost portion tension is taking place, compression is less and the tension is more over here, so more amount of steel has to be given in the bottommost portion. That is the reason the more amount of steel when compared to the top position, the bottommost part, the steel which is provided is more, because steel, the tension is going to take place in the bottommost region, but the steel is strong in tension but weak in compression. What about in the top? Compression is taking place, so the amount of steel is very less when compared to the bottommost portion. Okay, this is the overview. This is the complete thing, complete design strategy. This is one 3D schematic representation that I am showing you here. This is what we call as column and these beams are running over here. Okay, these beams are rested upon the columns. Okay, slabs are rested upon the beams which will come upon the beams, and these beams are rested upon the columns. Okay, so the column is called as support. Okay, width of the support will be equal to width of the beam. Okay, width of the support will be equal to width of the beam. This is the width of the beam and this is the width of the support. This one concept we are using while designing, just remember this. So anyhow, I showed you the 3D representation. I am telling you here, while designing over there, I'll just make you remember. Okay, this is one concept, and you know this is longitudinal bars, this is stirrups. These longitudinal bars are provided to resist the bending moment. The transverse bars, which is called as stirrups, are provided to resist the shear force. This is again the column, slab, everything, but we are mainly concentrating upon the beam. So I just showed you how just the beam is going to rest upon the column. Fine. So be familiar with what is longitudinal section and what is cross section. If you have an imagination about what is the difference between longitudinal section and the cross section, while designing, it will be very, very useful, because I'll give you all the examples with respect to the cross section and longitudinal sections only. Okay, that's all for this part. Meet you guys in the second part, where I am going to show how the basics, how does the Excel is going to work. Thank you one and all.